Nutrition is often called the fourth discipline in triathlon, and we all know how important it is to fuel and hydrate during training and racing. But do you know what and how much is good for you? We've got some top tips based on the latest science and feedback from hundreds of triathletes that will help you perform at your best and enjoy your event more. I'm delighted to be joined by multiple Ironman champion, Lucy Gossage. What should we consider when planning our nutrition strategy for long-distance triathlon?
Well, carbohydrates are high-energy fuel for endurance events. It helps you go faster and further. But unfortunately, we've only got a small amount stored in our body, and it's depleted after less than 2 hours of swimming, cycling or running. Now, carbohydrate refueling will substantially extend your endurance by giving you the extra energy you need. You'll enjoy your event more, but you'll also feel stronger, particularly later on.
It may seem an obvious conclusion that the more carbohydrate you consume during an event, the more energy your muscles are going to have available. But research suggests that if you consume more than 60 grams of carbohydrate per hour, found in a traditional sports drink, it will not be absorbed. This is the maximum amount of carbohydrate that can cross the wall of your intestine and get into your bloodstream. To exceed the 60 gram limit, you have to switch to a new generation of drink based on a 2:1 fructose formulation. We also often hear about athletes becoming dehydrated, especially on longer events.
So we lose fluids and electrolytes when we sweat, and if we don't replace the fluids and electrolytes, then obviously we get dehydrated. And this can really affect your performance, and over a long distance can become really significant. A good hydration strategy really does make a huge difference.
HIGH5 energy source is based on the scientifically proven 2:1 fructose formulation that extends endurance performance and helps with the absorption of water. Numerous tests by independent sports scientists have shown that simply switching to HIGH5 advanced nutrition guides on a day of an event enabled athletes to go faster and further in comparison to other brands of nutrition. So let's have a look at what you should be doing for your next long distance triathlon.
So an ideal pre-race breakfast is light but high in carbohydrates with just a little bit of protein too. So muesli, porridge, rice pudding, all of these are good options for carbohydrate. A poached egg or omelette would be a good source of protein.
You should aim to consume up to 60 grams of carbohydrate for every hour you have left before the start. One HIGH5 energy bar will provide you with 43 grams of carbohydrate and little bulk.
Take 2 energy gel or isogel sachets with 200 to 300 ml of water or zero about 15 minutes before the start, and that's your fuel for the swim sorted. So long distance races are often won or lost in terms of nutrition during the ride. Now, how much you can drink on the bike does depend on the weather conditions. In warm or hot conditions, the scientific 2:1 fructose and electrolyte formulation in the HIGH5 energy source means that you can drink up to 1 litre per hour. So this provides fluids, electrolytes and also carbohydrate for energy.
Some athletes also prefer to use an electrolyte only drink like HIGH5 Zero. This is a calorie-free hydration only drink, so make sure you get some energy from other foods. Depending on what you drink and how much you drink, you also need to take on carbohydrates from bars and gels. You should be aiming for 60 to 90 grams of carbohydrates per hour.
So you need to start drinking and eating as soon as you've settled down into your rhythm after transition to make sure you keep your stores topped up. You might not feel like it straight away, but I promise you it will make a difference later on. So I always try and eat little and often throughout the ride for a steady supply of energy.
Here are a few examples of what you can consume during each hour of the ride if you're drinking energy source. If you're drinking zero, then 1 energy bar and 1 gel per hour will provide you with just over 60 grams of carbohydrates. For gel intake, you can either use energy gel or isogel, depending on your personal preference. In comparison, a banana will provide you with around 20 to 30 grams of carbohydrates, depending on its size.
On to my favourite bit, caffeine. Caffeine gives you both a physical and a mental boost. So when you're taking part in tough sports events, like a long distance triathlon, caffeine really helps increase your endurance performance. So that means that you can go faster than before without even doing any extra training.
Scientific research has shown that an effective dose is 3 milligrams per kilogram of body weight for increased endurance performance. On the screen, you can see how much caffeine you need to take depending on your body weight, and an example of what you could take to get there.
So I don't use caffeine straight away in races. but instead I take it towards the end of the bike in preparation for the run to give me a bit of a kick.
Your body removes caffeine from your bloodstream over time. Once you've loaded up with caffeine, you should top up with 30 milligrams of caffeine every hour. Energy Gel Plus and Ice Gel Plus each contain exactly 30 milligrams of caffeine per sachet. If you take the second gel in the same hour, then this should be the standard gel with no caffeine.
If for any reason you don't want to use caffeine, then simply switch the caffeine products for the non-caffeine equivalents from HIGH5. So when you're running, it's easiest to get your carbohydrate from gel. And you can take up to 3 sachets of HIGH5 Energy Gel or Isogel each hour.
That will give you around 60 grams of carbohydrates per hour. If you're using caffeine, then one gel should be the plus variant with caffeine to keep you in the caffeine performance zone. Any remaining gel should be the standard gel with no caffeine.
So in order to stay hydrated, you should drink water or HIGH5 Zero. If you're going to drink Coke, then you probably need to reduce your gel intake by 1 for every 400 ml that you drink, starting with the caffeine gel. And if it's hot, you might also want to think about taking some salt tablets. So when we exercise, our muscles become energy depleted and break down. And when you compete in a long distance triathlon, you really do push your body to the limit. So definitely expect some soreness and stiffness afterwards. Having some protein and carbohydrates as soon as you finish helps to replenish our muscle energy stores and kickstart the repair and recovery process.
Drink a bottle of Protein Recovery as soon as you finish. This contains a unique blend of whey protein isolate and carbohydrates. It gives you the time to have a shower and relax a bit before eating a balanced meal 1 to 2 hours later.